All right. Hello, Tanya. How are you? All right. Well, welcome to my Friday live stream. This is English Q&A session on stage edition. So that means you can come on stage and talk to me. Can you recommend a good book to me? Sure. I'm always interested in knowing about a good book. The Stranger by Albert Camus. I have read some Camus before, but I can't remember what. It's been so long. Oh yeah, I don't remember. It was in college like 20 some years ago, but I do remember reading about him. Ah, no, yeah, I think it was The Myth of Sisyphus. I think that's what we read. So I don't think I've read The Stranger, but I like that kind of thing, so sure, I'll check it out. I'll put it on my list. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mona. And hello, Mora and Jack. So if you have questions about English, you can ask me your questions. You can write them in the chat, or you can raise your hand and come on stage and talk to me. Who wants to come talk to me? Anyone? You have 1 hour to ask me questions. What is a bailiff? A bailiff is it's like a police officer, but for the court. Okay, so a bailiff is the corrections officer that, or not corrections officer, I guess it's just a court officer who, they escort the defendants back and forth between the jail and the court, and they ensure that everything is safe in the court. So yeah, a bailiff is kind of like a court guard or a court officer. What does muddy puddle mean? Well, if it's a literal thing, then a puddle is when it rains and there's water on the ground. That's called a puddle, right? So if you see some rain, not just rain, it could be just Any water that's just on the ground with some dirt, that's mud, and that's a puddle. Okay? So muddy puddle is water with dirt in it. What's the difference between creepy, weird, and strange? 没有，差不多的意思，都是差不多的意思。一些人说，我觉得他很 creepy， 我觉得他很 weird， 我觉得他很 strange。I think he's very creepy. I think he's very weird. I think he's very strange. 都可以，都可以。Okay? Okay, once again, if you have questions about English, then ask your questions. If you want to raise your hand and come talk to me, you can. Hello, Christian Vargas. There is no difference between strange and weird. He's strange, he's weird, he's creepy. They're about the same. The only difference I would say is strange and weird 就是奇怪. Creepy is more like what's the right word? Let me see. Creepy is, how do I explain it? Oh, you guys. All right, so most of the time, weird and strange are the same thing. I heard a weird sound. I heard a strange sound. I think he's weird. I think he's strange. That movie is weird. That movie is strange. So pretty much the same. Creepy, though, is like it gives you a feeling of anxiety because you think it's bad. So, for example, the word creep is a noun, but it's also a verb. So, to creep means to walk like this. If I walk, whoops, sorry. If I walk like this, I'm creeping, right? Like a tiger, right? That's called creeping. So, if you are moving like that or acting like that in some way, then you are creepy. Okay, like he's creepy. I don't like him. I think something's weird about him. He's creepy. Okay? But weird and strange are pretty much the same. Okay? And like occasionally creepy does mean the same thing as weird or strange. Occasionally. Muddy puddle is something from Peppa Pig. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I remember that. Chiropractor is a kind of doctor that aligns your spine. Okay? So a chiropractor is the doctor that works on your back, usually, your neck and your back to make them move properly. Yeah, like when describing a stalker, right. Is there a difference between labor with an O-U-R and O-R? One is British and the other is American. Yeah, the first one is British. O-U-R spellings are usually the British way. Like color, C-O-L-O-U-R, that's the British way to spell color. C-O-L-O-R, that's the American way to spell color. Labor, L-A-B-O-U-R is the British way. L-A-B-O-R is the American way. If you want to buy lessons from me, you can go to my website and buy lessons from me. I have a course in that I am a teacher, so I can teach you if you go to my website. Okay? All right, once again, I'm waiting to talk to somebody on stage. Raise your hand. Come on, talk to me. How can you become better in instant conversations? Always feeling like words fly away when I'm speaking casually with people. You just have to do it more. One, you have to do it more. You have to practice speaking more. That's very important. Two, you have to practice thinking in English more. If you spend more time thinking in English, if English is comfortable here in your mind, if you can think comfortably in English, then you can speak casually in English. But if you can't think comfortably in English, then you can't speak casually in English. Okay? If you have questions, then ask me. LeBron says it's extremely hard to think in English. No, it's not. No, LeBron, it's just something that you don't do much. Anything that you don't do very much feels hard. If you've never ridden a bike before and I ask you to ride a bike, it will feel hard. Do I teach kids? Yes and no. Jane, I occasionally do teach children if I feel they can pay attention and if I feel they actually want to learn. So, if you want your child to learn English, then I'm not teaching your kid. If your kid wants to learn English, then I will teach your kid. Do you understand the difference? I'm not going to teach a child who doesn't want to be there. It's really simple. It's when you're teaching online, especially teaching online. Teaching online can only be effective if the student really wants to be there. Online teaching is completely ineffective if the student is not paying attention, if they're not interested. Okay? Jane, my other rule is that sometimes parents will message me and they'll ask me, can you teach my 3-year-old son? Or can you teach my 4-year-old daughter? That's too young. What are you doing? What are you doing? You should not be regimenting your baby's life. If you have a baby, it should not have a regimented life. Regimented means like in the army. Wake up at 5 a.m. You do this from 5 to 6. From 6 to 7, you eat breakfast. From 7 to 8, you go to the school and learn English. From 9 to 10, you do this. From 10 to 11, you do this. It's a baby. It's a baby. You should not be regimenting your baby's life. So, that's my other rule, is that usually I don't teach children until they're about 8 or 9, 10 years old, somewhere in that neighborhood. When they're 8, 9, 10 years old, then they usually can pay attention. Some of them are very interested in English at that age. And at that age, now between 8 and 10, that's when you can start to increase their productivity as a human. But you should not be making your child productive as a baby. You know? Babies are, they should just be allowed to explore the world. What you should do with a baby is create an environment that's a safe, positive, educational environment for a baby. Babies are like sponges. They learn anything that is surrounding them. So if you want them to learn, don't force them to learn, just allow them to learn. That's different. That means that you have a lot of things surrounding them for learning, but you're not telling them they must learn. Okay? Understand? I hope I'm not trying to be offensive to anyone, but it's just very important, you know? Everybody wants their kid to succeed in life. But sometimes you push so hard that you actually try too hard. And your efforts are actually not helping, they're hurting. Okay? So there are some times when what you want too much. And because you want it too much, you push too much. And because you push too much, you break it. You destroy any possibility of success because you forced it. You know? How much time do you need to learn English in your face? I don't know what that means, in your face. Do you mean face to face? I'm not sure I understand your question. There is no amount of time to learn any language. If you learn Arabic, it takes your whole life. If you learn Chinese, it takes your whole life. If you learn English, it takes your whole life. If you learn Japanese, it takes your whole life. If you learn French, it takes your whole life. So stop thinking about how long it takes. It takes your whole life. That's the answer. How can you think in English when you don't have many chances to do because of your environment? Hajar, you can think in English and your environment has nothing to do with your thinking. If I'm an American and I go to China and I think in English, I can think in English in China just as easily as I can here. I can think in Chinese in America just as easily as I can think in Chinese in China. So your environment has nothing to do with the way you use your mind. Okay, if you have questions from your test, I'm sorry I'm not answering those. I'm not answering a specific question from a test. Nope, you have to figure that out for yourself. That's called cheating. But if they don't want to go to school for study, yeah, all kids, you know, most kids don't really want to go to school to study, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about school. I'm talking about making it worse. Let me explain something, LeBron. One of the most terrible things that you can do in this world is destroy someone's interest in learning. If you destroy someone's interest in learning, that is really terrible. And there are some people who don't recognize this. They don't understand that if you force it too much, you kill it. If you force it too much, you kill it. Education is something, it's like a garden. It has to be tended, and you have to have patience, and you have to create the right environment for it to grow. But you can't force it to grow. That's a good analogy. Having a student is like a plant in the garden. And to grow a plant successfully, you have to care for it. You have to tend to it. You have to create an environment that is a good environment for it to grow. If you do that, it will grow. But if you go out there and water it every hour, you're going to kill the plant. If you give it too much sunlight, you're going to kill the plant. If you give it too much fertilizer, you're going to kill the plant. Pato says, not your whole life, but you can learn and lose it if you don't use it every day. I still think it's your whole life, man. Pato, I consider it to be like playing a musical instrument. How long does it take to play the piano? It takes forever. Because no pianist is ever finished. It's a mindset. No musician has ever said, I'm done now. I don't need to learn anymore. No musician has ever said that. It's the same thing with language. No person has ever really said, I'm finished with Spanish. I know all my Spanish. My Spanish is the best Spanish on the planet. It doesn't happen, because you can always be better. What should the beginner of any language start with, because I face difficulties in the beginning? Muhammad, you should start with simple things like basic phrases. Okay, you don't need to learn the alphabet or grammar. You can start with simple things like Muhammad. If you say Assalamu alaikum, that's hello. Wa alaikum assalam, that's hello back, right? Nice to meet you. Then you could say shukran, thank you, afwan, you're welcome. You can say, na'am, la, yes and no, right? And you could say simple things. Start with simple phrases that are useful phrases. And then try to use them. Start with that, okay? Cypher says a pianist practices every day at least 6 hours. Well, Cypher, I am a musician. That is actually my real job. Besides being a teacher, I am a musician. And I will tell you, you are right, but you are wrong. Professional musicians practice a lot. I will say that. They practice a lot, okay? And when I was younger, I practiced between 6 and 8 hours every day. Okay, maybe more even on some days. Okay, but it's not about how many hours. They practice that many hours not because anyone is forcing them to. They practice that many hours because they want to. They want to be that good. Okay, but they also know that there is no end. So they never think about counting the number of hours. They only think about making sure they practice enough. Okay? Marshmallow, that's too big of a question. Can a non-native English speaker reach C2 levels? Of course they can. There are millions of them who have. There is no one roadmap. The road to learning is an individual road. So no one person ever takes the same roadway to learn something. Okay? We all take different roadways to get there. Nobody wants to come on stage? See, this is what's so crazy. Some days I'm busy teaching and I won't let you come on stage because I'm busy teaching. But now I'm asking you to come on stage. Come on stage. Talk to me. Let's talk to, is it Anwar? Hello, Anwar. Good to see you again. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good.
Yeah.
What's new, man?
I don't know. I just joined your live stream, and also like you said that no one really want to go on stage, so I have to volunteer myself right now.
Yeah, like I said, I hate it because there are some days when I come here and I'm busy and I have a topic and a class and I have things I want to teach and I don't have time to talk to people and they get mad. They'll say like, I want to come talk to
Yeah.
you. I want to come talk to you, and I can't right now. Today is not the day. And I tell them Friday and Saturday, those are the days to come on stage. Then here it is Friday, and I've been here for 30 minutes and nobody has raised their hand yet until now. 30 minutes I'm waiting for somebody to come on stage and ask me a question. So thank you, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
How is how is
Yeah. You have
how
the,
is your teaching going?
my teaching. So like we had our last academic year like last week. So we already like in vacation season right now for all the students, but for all the teachers, we still go to school because we have admins to do. We have to prepare for the next
Yeah, yeah.
academic years, and
Hmm.
also yeah, and also like yeah, like I will be transferred to secondary school this academic year, so I'm not gonna teach anymore at the primary school. I have to teach English,
Mm.
math, and also Indonesian.
Wow. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, but how do you feel about that? Are you looking forward to moving beyond primary?
Uh, Basically, I like my plan was like if I graduate like this year, I will probably like switch career. I don't want to be a teacher anymore.
Okay. All right. Because
It's super tiring, sir. It's
it is.
exhausting.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely a very difficult job
I
that,
mean,
you
yeah, I
know,
mean, I like teaching. I love teaching, but I don't like teaching in, formal institution like school. It's so tiring.
so that's kind of what I was going to tell you is that uh, I love teaching. I don't love teaching everywhere. Do you understand the difference? you
I
know,
got the point.
like,
Yeah, yeah.
uh, there have been some schools that I hated working for, and there have been some situations I've not enjoyed. But what I would tell you is that's one of the reasons I like doing this because now I have full control over my teaching and I can teach whatever I want. So what I would say
Yeah.
is I do think you have a good temperament to be a teacher, and that's rare. So I don't. I want to encourage you to at least consider the fact that you have a skill set that is unique and that is important for teaching, for being a teacher. So you have all the qualities that a good teacher should have. Unfortunately, that is very uncommon. It's very rare. Many people choose to teach. Not many people really have the qualities of a teacher. But I think you do. So I would just tell you that I think you should keep that in mind in your future. Keep that in mind that you just said it. It's not that you don't like teaching. It's just that you don't like teaching the way you do it now. And I
Yeah.
and I understand that. Yeah. And like what did I just say earlier? This is one thing schools don't understand either is that again, pushing a child to learn is one thing, but uh, which child is going to do better? The child that you forced or the child that you encouraged? you know? So the kid that you force is always not is gonna they're not really interested. But the one who you encouraged by teasing them, they are gonna want to do it. And again, I think you have good qualities as a teacher, so I think you should consider the idea of maybe you just need to find another way to teach.
Yeah, like so wait. So yeah, I love teaching again. Like I love teaching. Also, like my main goal was like I grew up in like a poor family, so I really want to have my own school. So I want like preschool for everyone, especially for you know for unfortunate people that in my surrounding, and
Yeah, yeah,
then
yeah.
like teaching in school, like yeah, teaching in formal institution that requires a lot of things. Like you have to do admin, you have to do like a lot of things that you have to
I
fill
know.
out
Yeah,
every day.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
know.
also like I'm doing, like also like right now I'm doing my master degree, and also like I teach like I'm doing this English tutoring for some people here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I like my tutoring teaching, but I don't, I love teaching, but I don't like teaching like in formal institution. That's my point.
I
Yeah.
completely understand and I completely agree. I'm the same way. I'm the same way. Like, there are many schools that I think want to hire me, but I don't want to work for them because they expect more than they should. Uh,
Yeah.
Again, there's a difference between there are some schools that they treat the teachers basically like slaves. And they're treating
I know what
they
you mean.
what they I mean they make the teachers do more and more and more and more and more, and it's never too much. They just keep saying, oh, you have to grade these papers, and you have to teach this class, and you have to clean the bathroom and the classroom, and you have to do this, and you have to do this, and you have to do this, and it's too much. But a good institution understands that, uh, again, it's like a garden. And when you have, for example, an apple tree can last for many, 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 many years if you treat it well,
Yeah.
right? So when your plants get older, you have to care for them more because they're older. The older they get, the more invested you are, the more value they have, right? So some
Yep.
schools, they should think of it that way, that just like you have to create the great environment for a student to learn, you also have to create a great environment for a teacher to teach.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
most schools don't do that. Most schools, they look at the teacher like they are just a thing. They have no real talent or real value, and that's a big problem. They don't recognize that this is more like music because it's an art. And you should be looking at your teachers not based on their credentials. You shouldn't be looking at where did they go to school or what grades did they get. You should be looking at, can you make beautiful music or not? And what I mean by that is, are you a teacher who inspires or not? If you are a teacher who inspires,
Yeah.
that's making beautiful music. That's talent. That is something that you should find and keep and encourage, right? But
Yep.
most schools don't even think about their teachers, about inspiration or motivation. They only think about their teachers about, do they have the right credentials? That's it. You know? So,
Yep.
yeah, both teachers and students, they need to be treated the same way, like a garden. You have to create the right environment for them to learn, and you have to create the right environment for them to teach. Yeah. So I don't want you to quit teaching. I just want you to think about that you don't hate teaching, you just hate teaching there. And that's okay. And
Uh,
that's normal. So
yeah.
so just
But like,
consider your future, and in the future what happens will happen. And you just need to remember though that again, having the qualities of a teacher doesn't mean you should be a teacher. I'm just saying you do have the right qualities.
no,
Okay?
I've been teaching only for 2 years now. semester, so I've been only teaching for 2 years now, and I used to work in a company with like like good salary and everything, and then I decided to quit because I really want to continue my studies, and then I have to quit there. And I after I quit, I have times to continue my study. Also, like this teaching process, like I like even when I was in high school, like I can say that you know like I could help my friends. Like every time I finished school during the high school, like some of my friends will come to me, Anwar, can you teach me this part? Anwar, can you? So basically, I'm doing this tutoring since I was in high school, and that's why like I love teaching. Again, like I love teaching, but I always thought like before I joined this school, I always think that I think being a teacher in Indonesia is gonna like it's not really like a hard work for me, but after I joined this school, I have already signed for 2 years contract right now, 2 years and a half contract. So I have to finish my contract
Mm-hmm.
until this year,
Mm-hmm.
end of this year, and then yeah, I'm kind of thinking. Yeah, I like. I'm thinking about. I do still want to teach, but
Ah. Oh,
and yeah, basically, I just don't want to teach in Indonesia. To be honest with you,
okay.
it's
I can understand. I can
yeah,
understand. You don't have to say more. I understand. Believe me, I've seen plenty of schools, and again, school is something that a lot of people think is so important that they do it the wrong way. They treat it like something you're supposed to force. Education can't be forced. You're never going to have a successful student if you force them to learn. It's just never going to happen. They're
yeah,
never going to actually understand everything. They're
yeah, yeah,
never
yeah,
ever they're not going to enjoy learning. They're not going to like knowledge. If you don't like knowledge, then you can't use knowledge. So even if you pass the test,
yeah,
it doesn't matter, you know? So yeah. Well, I've been there. I won't teach anywhere anymore. I will only teach where I feel they create a good environment for learning and teaching. So like I'm actually looking forward to my next interview. If I decide to take another job teaching at a school, I'm almost looking forward to it. Because I want to tell them this. I want to say, like, this is very simple. If your school has a good environment for learning, the students will learn. If your school has a good environment for teaching, the teachers will teach. So I ask you, do you have that environment? Because I want them to feel that sometimes when you have a job, it's fun. Because when you're in the beginning, like you can't say no. You're a new student. You're a new teacher. I mean, so it means that you don't have any experience yet. So you have to just take what you can get.
yep,
But now I've reached a point where
yep,
I've got lots of experience. So now it's not they're not interviewing me. I'm interviewing them.
mm,
So it's more like, if you want me to teach here, that's great, but that doesn't mean I will. You have to turn the tables on them a little bit. But
yeah, yeah,
Anwar, just keep doing whatever you need to do. Your path will find itself. The future is not something that you go towards. It's something that unfolds. And when your
yeah,
future unfolds, it always unfolds the way it's supposed to, even if it doesn't seem like it. So sometimes things seem like they're not unfolding the way you want, but you just don't know what's coming later. Maybe what's happening is supposed to happen for the future, right? So
yep. I believe so. Yeah, I
yeah,
believe so. Yeah.
yeah. So just keep working on it, keep doing what you're doing, and but I just wanted to make sure you know I've been teaching a long time, Anwar, and when I see somebody who has the qualities of a good teacher, I want to make sure you know you have those qualities. You do have those qualities. That's rare.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Yeah, like so like last week we distribute this progress report, you know, and basically I got a lot of appreciation from the parents. They say blah 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 blah, and also like they kind of said because I'm gonna leave the primary school and I'm gonna be transferred to
Uh-huh.
secondary school, and they're basically saying something nice about their student their child's progress and everything. Yeah, and yeah, it kind of makes me sad because I do still want to teach at that primary, and then the school they have to transfer me to secondary school because this is like a new school, not teachers. So we have only like four teachers yet, and we got like 10 subjects. So I have to teach like each teacher. We should teach three subjects.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
it's gonna be tiring as well in the next couple months for me.
well, if you decide to quit and do something else, then let me tell you something else you could do. You could write a nice letter in chat. Use ChatGPT and have it write a letter for you and tell the parents, the primary student parents, tell them, I'll be leaving. It's been really wonderful teaching your child. If you'd like to have private lessons with me, you can. So after you leave, you can send them a little note, and say,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah,
if you really do like your student to learn with me, then they can privately. I'm going to be leaving teaching for a while because I'm trying to find a better path for myself. But if you want your student to
yeah,
learn with me, they can. And then maybe then you can make a little money, and then it's on the side, and it's just what you want. There is no principal telling you how to do it. Principals are honestly, principals are so useless. I mean, in my entire life, I think I've met like one actual good principal. The rest of them are completely useless. They're like CEOs. A CEO thinks they're very important, but they really are not important at all. You know, and and and, and,
I
and
don't want to talk about my
yeah,
principal
yeah, yeah, yeah.
because she's kind of
You
good. She's my friend.
Oh well, yeah, okay, yeah. Don't talk about your principal. I'm just talking about sometimes that's how principals are. That they, I don't know what they do. Like if you ask me, what do you do exactly? What is your job? How do you make anything better at this school? What exactly do you do? Because the majority of them won't
Yeah.
even know how to answer you. They won't even know what to tell you if you ask them, what do you do? Most, yeah.
They only give you more jobs to do, right?
Right. Yeah, they delegate. They delegate a lot. But other than that, they don't do
Yeah,
much. Yeah. Yeah. And unfortunately, in
yeah,
America, they don't
yeah,
even they do less than that in America. Principals here are completely worthless. Uh, it's sad. Yeah, but it's just like it's honestly it's
sad.
very simple. It's very similar to the CEO problem because CEOs are at the top. They have all the power and they think they know everything, but the problem is that they honestly usually don't know anything, and uh, they have a false sense of importance. And
Like
that's
that.
a false sense of importance means they think they're very important, but the truth is that if they were gone for 4 months, nobody would notice.
Yeah,
if
yeah,
a teacher is gone for four
yeah,
months, everyone is going to notice. But if a
yeah.
principal is gone for four
Not,
months,
not, not, not
nobody
for
will
months. Even
nobody will
even if
even
you
care.
even if you take a day a leave off, like a
Right?
day
Yeah.
for off, and then everyone's gonna like
Yeah.
why like
Right.
I try like I was sick the other day, and then my my principal texted me like, "Are you really sick? Can you just
Yeah.
go to school?" Blah blah blah. And,
Right.
I'm sorry, I can't do it today.
Yeah. That's not cool. That's honestly that's the kind of thing that I will never tolerate that again because you can't say I think teachers deserve more respect than they get. Which everybody says that. Everybody says I think teachers deserve more respect. But then your boss will call you and say, "Hey, are you really sick? Can't you just come in anyway?" That's not respectful. No. I'm
Yeah.
sick. Don't call me. I'm sick. You should send me some flowers. You should send me some soup. But you should not send me a note telling me to come to work when I'm sick. You know, again, that's like, it's just disrespectful. But if a principal
Yeah.
was sick for a week, nobody would even notice. Everybody in the school would be like, oh, great,
Yeah.
she's not here. Oh, great, he's not here. That's great. We can really run things now. That's what happens when a principal goes on vacation for 3 weeks. The whole school runs better.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. Because no one tells everyone you should blah blah blah. Because
Yeah.
we know what to
You
do.
know
Right?
what to do.
We
That's
already know
right.
what to do.
That's right. Yeah, it's called micromanaging. Micromanaging is something that a lot of principals do. They'll come into your classroom and tell you what to do or give you tips or notes. It's like, no, that is not how it works, man. That is not how it works. No, if you want to teach my class, come. You can teach it. But if I'm teaching my class, you don't get to tell me how to teach it. I'm sorry, but no. Either you hire me to do what I do or you don't hire me. But you don't get to hire me and then tell me what to do. That's not how it works. You know?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
also like I got this like we have this like group session like every Friday or something. Like in the end of the Friday, like in the end of the school day, we gonna it's like a community, like a teacher community, like everyone share the whole week experience, and then when there's some like some big cases, about something that happens, something's going on at in school, you know, I always be the one that try to give uh some what's that suggestion to the principal, but again, like he doesn't give us the solution.
Yeah.
They like she asked all the teachers to share the problem that we're facing the whole week, and then we can share the stories about the whole week, what happened during that teaching and all this thing in the class, and then I always be the one that has so many complaints. I always I blah 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 blah. Everyone's kind of silent, and then my principals always like, you know what, Anwar, that's not a big problem. You just need blah 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 blah. Like, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. There is a curse when you care about something. When you care about doing something. Sometimes it's a curse. And the reason why is because sometimes when you care about something, you find that it's hard to find other people that care as much as you do.
yeah, I believe, yeah, that's so true. That's so true.
So what you're
Sometimes you want
describing,
to. I like, to be honest with you, sir. I really invest myself. I really want to improve this school. I want everything good for this school. But then if I look at my other colleagues, they don't really give a fuck.
right?
Like,
Right. That's what
I
I'm
I try
trying to
to.
say. That's what I'm saying is like
Yeah.
it's hard when you care about something. It's very rare to run into somebody who cares as much as you do. This is something that musicians, we all know this because like when a musician finds another musician who's just as passionate, we want to hang out together, we want to play music together, we want to work together because we know how rare it is to find somebody who cares as much as you do. So when you do find somebody who cares and you really want to get together and do something, you know, but if I go play music with people who don't care, it's terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah.
It's like, honestly, it's like torture because like I have to try to not care, and I can't do that. Like I'm incapable of not caring. When I play music, I have to care.
Because you
When I
care.
when I
Yeah,
teach,
because
I
you
have
care.
to
Because you
teach. I have
care.
to care. You know, like yeah. So it's hard, but that's the way it is for a lot of people. Teaching is just a job. It's just a job.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
teaching it
I
shouldn't.
believe.
It
So, yeah.
should not be that way. Teaching is something that should not be just a job. Nobody should be a teacher if it's just something you're doing just for a work or just a job. If you don't care, you shouldn't be a teacher. You should not be a teacher if you don't care. That's the most basic principle of teaching, is that a teacher should care. That's the most basic thing. It's so funny. But it's not always true. It's not always true, you know? Yeah. So,
Yep.
Anwar, well, I hope you find your path. I hope things work out for you the way that they should. I think they will. Remember what I said about teaching. You do have the qualities of a good teacher, so just keep that in mind, because it's something that you could work towards later. Just remember that you just have to find a way to do it that feels good. Because I don't want to teach anywhere. I don't want to teach anywhere. There are many places that could offer me good money, but I wouldn't work there because it wouldn't be a good environment. You have to find a good environment. And again, I think about it just like a garden. You have to have good soil. You have to have good water, good light. You have to have everything has to be the right environment for learning and teaching. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. But most schools are not a good garden.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
All right, so thank you very much. Thank you very
You're
much
welcome.
for your advice, and also like it's always been, it's always a nice talk with you. Like every time I go on stage, I got like new lessons.
Likewise.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's my pleasure, man. And keep in touch and let me know how things go. Okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Take care,
my
bye.
friend. I'll see you. Let's see. Marshmallow wants to talk to me now. Thank you for being patient, Marshmallow. Almost choked on my coffee.
Hello, Mark.
Hello, Marshmallow. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm okay.
Okay.
So what can I do for you today?
So what can I do?
I talked with you earlier, a few weeks ago.
Mhm.
I don't know if you remember.
I remember.
You. Oh yeah. Yes. From that, that was the first time I get to know you. Then I followed you your every sessions, every live. So I want to know, like, earlier I commented on this live that I want to reach near native speakers. Like I want to reach C2 level. I
Okay.
asked you earlier.
Okay.
Yeah. So as a Bangladeshi guy, what should be my roadmap?
Okay.
So
Okay.
I can.
So
Here's my first question.
my first question.
My first
Yes.
question is, why do you want to have a C2 level? And the reason I ask you that is because, do you know what a C2 level is? C2 level is not something that most people have or know or use. So most Americans do not have a C2 level of English. They do not. C2 level of English is like academic level. That's like when you're writing a thesis paper or you're in a master's degree program or a PhD program. You're using
I see.
very, very high level advanced words. Now, the reason why I ask you this is because English is a language, and the purpose of a language, the main purpose, is for communication and expression, right? To express your ideas
Right, to express
and
the
communicate. So that should be the goal. The goal should be to communicate well, okay? But
Yep.
just because you learn a bunch of big words does not mean you communicate well, all right? And I teach advanced C2 level vocabulary about once a week. I teach it here. But those are words that are not used very often. That is not useful in most places. So if you go to the doctor, when you speak to a doctor, most of the time you're not using C2 level language. When you go to work, when you talk at work, you're not using C2 level language unless you're a professor teaching master's degree courses. if you go to the grocery store, you're not using C2 level language. If you go to the park, you're not using C2 level language. If you watch TV, it's not C2 level language. So, I think your goal is that you want to have perfect English. But
Yeah.
nobody has perfect English because perfect doesn't exist. Perfect is an island that you can't get to.
That you can't get to.
So, don't try to be perfect. Instead, try to be proficient. Proficiency.
My goal.
Go ahead.
Yes, my goal is
Go ahead.
like I want to be a good storyteller. I want to be a good content creator, and I want to do it in English language so that
Okay.
I can I can reach out to global audience. I want to be as good as but at least as near to a native speaker, so that people will uh, like I can give a real value to as a content creator or as a storyteller
Okay, so
or
when you
as a
say
good communicator.
you want to be a content creator and a storyteller to tell what story, to make what content, what are you going to talk about? Do you know?
Yes, I want to. I love to read books, so
Okay.
I want to talk. I want to review about books. I want to summarize them.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, and then who is your
All
audience?
right. And then who?
My audience are basically book lovers or want to learn something about self improvement
Okay.
or anything about self improvement and business. So
Okay.
it's my I want to go into that field.
Okay. So why should they listen to you?
Uh, I don't have that answer yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the important thing. You have to find that part. Because you want to help people, you want to do something. I get that. I understand that. But you need to know who your audience is first. And once you know who your audience is, then you can figure out what you should do. And you can also think about, what do I have to offer? Because if you have an opinion about a movie, but you don't know anything about movies, then your opinion does not really matter. Right? So, for example, maybe I see a movie and I say, this is the greatest movie of all time. No movie has ever been made better. But I've only seen like 10 movies, so is my opinion really valuable? If I say this is the greatest movie ever, but I've only seen 10, then no. Right? Marcus Aurelius said that. He said the opinion of 10,000 men means nothing if they know nothing of the subject. So, first you have to figure out who your audience is. Who are you speaking to? Then you have to figure out, what message do I have? What do I have to offer to my audience? Why should they listen to me? Right? So, for example, me. There are lots of English teachers. There are millions of them. There are millions of English teachers. Why is my opinion any different or any better? It's only better if you think it's better. But it's different because of my background as a musician. So my answers are different. So that's why I have a unique voice. And that's why people listen. Right? But that's important, because if your voice is not unique, then there are lots of other people who will say the same stuff and you have no value. You have to find value in your personal voice. Okay? And your personal voice has to be something that you believe in, something that you feel you know about, something that you can speak about and you can speak with authority. I know this thing, right? Now, maybe you don't have that yet. You might not have that yet. If you don't have that yet, then you need to start. Okay? And what that means is, to become passionate about something, it's like starting a fire. right? You have to start the fire small and just build a very small fire and take care of it, and then build it bigger and bigger and bigger in time. All right? And if you find something that you're passionate about, then you find something that you have a voice for. Okay? Passion is passion is your it's your personality coming out. Passion. That's what passion is. It's your personality saying, like, I believe in this thing. I think about this thing. This thing, it calls to me. It calls to me. I have opinions. I have ideas. I have curiosity. That's passion. Right? So
Yes.
that's what you have to find, is find that, because that's authentic, that's real, and people will want to watch that. But if you just go online and say something, nobody's going to listen unless you have some background or some angle, something that makes your voice unique and different, right? So, think about that. It's going to take some time. You need to think about that and figure out what is your angle, okay? We have a word for it. There's a word in English that we use. It's actually a Hebrew word. The word is shtick.
The word is shtick.
Shtick. Yeah, not stick,
Shtick.
shtick. And a shtick is like a gimmick. It's your thing. Like, if I say, what's your shtick? It means, what is the thing that you do that's unique? Right? So my shtick is, I am an English teacher, but I'm a musician English teacher. That's my shtick.
There is a Japanese term called ikigai.
Ikigai, okay.
Does it ikigai? Does it? It refers to same like this. Like you are a shtick. You are saying.
Okay, all right.
I think.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that, but yeah, you have to find your shtick. You have to find your shtick.
Yeah.
What's your shtick? What's your angle? What's the thing that makes you different?
Yeah, I get it. And another question I wanna ask that how can I connect with people and engage them in conversation? Like I feel really struggle to do this, and I think I have some confidence issue. Like when I struggle a lot to speak English, it not because I don't know English. I have some confidence issue or something that like there is a blockage in my mind that like that act as an obstacle to speak clearly, and that's my really big headache.
Well, I think that's a headache that everyone has, because
Oh,
yeah, everybody is trying to speak well. Everybody is trying, but not everybody is successful. Some days you have a good day, and some days you have a bad day. So today, I feel like my words are coming out very nicely, mostly. They're really coming out nicely, mostly. But there are some days when I feel like I have the answer here somewhere, but when it comes up here, it's like, ugh. It's terrible. Like, I lose my words, or it doesn't sound right, or it doesn't come out smoothly, or I forget what I want to say. So, that's normal.
yeah.
And this is another reason why I think it's good to think about language is like music. Because when you play music, you want to make it pretty. You want to make it musical. And what that means is you want people to listen to you, right? So there are some days when your words are very musical. People want to hear them. And there are some days when your words are not very musical. And it's not good music. People don't want to hear it. But a musician continues every day to just try to be more musical. So
Yeah.
don't worry about your bad days. If you have a bad day, it's just a bad day. Let it go. It happens. Okay? The next day is going to come and you'll be fine. But
Yeah, it's a really, really great insight. I get it.
yeah. So you can have a voice, but you have the wrong goal. You asked, when you first came here, you said, I want to be C2 level. I want to speak better than a native. That's not what you need. What you need is you need authentic, passionate English. That's all. And that's not about C2. That has nothing to do with C2
that has
or
nothing
C1.
to do with.
That's just about
That's just about
authentic expression.
authentic expression.
Okay?
Yes, I
Authentic
Yes.
expression comes
Authentic
from practice.
expression.
Okay? The
yes,
more
and
you
that's why I'm
yeah.
that's why I'm practicing a lot in like I'm trying to talk with my first day I can't speak a single word like there is some like what should I say my head and my face was like wait with what should I say like
Let me tell you this.
yeah
There is this here's something. Sometimes this happens. Sometimes you're thinking about what you want to say so much that you mess up what you're saying now. And that's like when you're walking on a trail. If you're hiking and you're hiking on the mountain and you look too far ahead, but you're not looking down at your feet.
You're looking down at your
You're going to
feet.
trip. You're going to trip. You're on the rocks because you're not paying attention to what's going on now, right? So sometimes you're looking too far ahead and you're not paying attention to what's going on right now. So,
yeah what
go ahead.
what's your advice on giving narrowing this attention so that I can I struggle it a lot like I overthink a lot I struggle to give attention to that single particular like that thing which I should focus.
So, let me think about my answer for a minute. When I describe something, when I try to answer a question, I think first about the general feeling, almost like a color, right? Like I'm going to explain green. I'm going to explain blue. But green or blue, there are so many shades of green and blue, right? There's so many nuances, so many different shades of these different colors, right? So first I have to think about the general color. And the general color is what helps me stay on the path so that I stay focused, right? But then I think about the words I'm going to say, almost like each word is a step I'm making, right? And so that's why I tell people you have to be careful with your words, just like you're careful when you walk. You have to be careful where you walk. If you walk in the wrong place, you're going to fall. So you have to be careful with your steps, right? Everybody knows that. Words are the same way. So if you focus on the general color, then you stay on the general pathway. But then when you focus on the color, now you also need to stop and think about which words should I choose? Which are the steps to make, right? What steps should I take forward? Okay? And that's why sometimes you will see me and I will say, let me think about that for a minute. What's the word I'm looking for? What's the word? It's just like when you're walking on the mountain and you're like, should I put my foot here or should I put my foot here? You know, like, which is the better place to put my foot? Should I use this word or should I use this word? Right? So, and if you've only hiked on the mountain one time, then of course you're not very sure. But if you've hiked on the mountain millions of times, then you become more sure of where to put your feet. Right? So your words will become more sure when you know the pathway more. And you only know the pathway more if you do it more. Right? So the more you do it, the stronger your words will get, the more you will find a way.
So practicing is the key.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But I think it's important to think about the general idea that you have, the color, right? That keeps you on the pathway. And then you have to choose your steps, your words, in order to explain. Okay?
Here I didn't understand the color part. I understand whole thing, but the color part
The
is
color is what I
confusing
mean
me.
is just that when I want to answer someone, when I want to give someone an answer, there's a general idea first, right? Like there's a general
Oh.
concept. That's the color, right? And if you can remember the color, then you can stay on the path. So sometimes when you're trying to explain things, you're focused on your words too much and then you lose the path and you're off the path. So, but if you can remember, oh, the color is red. I'm trying to explain about red. Then now I stayed on this forward path going in this direction, and then I can choose my words carefully to explain it clearly. Okay? So the color is just a general focus, a general direction. That way you don't lose your focus. Okay? So I think of explaining things on two levels. You have to think on a macro level and a micro level. The macro level is the color. The micro level is each word.
Word.
Yeah,
Okay.
I get it.
And
Yes, that's a really like great advice. And thanks a lot. And I'll I'll try. I hope that when when I come live with you in next time, like you will be seeing me a much better version of me than today. It's my
You sound
promise to
good
you.
already.
you sound
So
Yeah.
I think
Thank you.
that's important to remember, that sometimes you think you're not very good, but maybe you're better than you
but
think
maybe
you
you're
are.
better than
And it's important because, especially in language and music have another thing in common. If you play a song, but if you don't believe in yourself, then that song is not going to sound good. But if you play a song and you believe in yourself, that song is going to sound beautiful.
Yeah.
All right? The same thing is true with this, right? If you believe in yourself, there's confidence. If you have confidence in your words, it's very simple. If you don't believe in you, then nobody else is going to believe in you. So you have to believe in
First, I have
yourself
to
first.
Believe me.
That's
Yes,
right.
I have to believe in myself.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right, Marshmallow, I
Then-
need to let you go, but it was nice to talk to you again, my friend, and good luck
Thank
to
you.
you. Just
Thank you.
keep
Thank you
working
so
on
much.
it.
Thank
You're
you
welcome.
so much.
You're welcome.
I'm really appreciate your advice. Thank you.
No
So
problem.
I'm leaving. Thank
All
you
right,
so much.
take care, my friend. I'll see you next time. Okay. Wow, it's already been an hour and 14 minutes. All right, I think I have time to talk with maybe one more person, one or two, maybe. Edison, do you want to come talk to me?
Hello.
Hello, Edison. How are you?
Fine, very well. Fine.
Good.
How are you?
I'm pretty good also. And where are you in China? Are you in Beijing, Shanghai, Shenzhen, Guangzhou?
I'm studying Western China.
Western,
Western
Xinjiang.
China.
Xinjiang.
No. Sichuan province.
Xinjiang. Okay. All right. And what can I do for you today? Do you have a question for me?
You, you're American. Your English is pretty good. I like use American accent.
Okay.
Very good. I can understand you very well.
我谢谢，可是我觉得你听得懂我说什么，因为我是英文老师，所以如果我说我试试看，我 I focus，忘记中文怎么说，我很集中，你知道吗？I focus. I try to
I don't know
focus. If
我
I
不知
speak
道你
English，
说的什么。
你知道那个集中吗？集中 focus。
集中哦
yeah,
，focus
yeah.
I know。
所以如果我说英文，我说集中的 ，okay? I think very focused. I try to focus. I think I'm speaking that terribly, but I think you understand. Anyway, Edison, how long have you been learning English?
I've been learning English for many years, maybe 3, 5, 10 years.
Okay, all right. Okay, good. And what do you want to improve?
I want to prove my. I want to prove my English.
Okay, but what do you,
然后
what problems do you have? What do you think is difficult? Vocabulary, grammar, reading, writing, listening, speaking?
I always forget the English grammar.
Okay. But you forget English grammar because you don't use English often, 对不对？
Yeah, 语法经常错误。
不知道。
经常错误。
So, here's what I will say to you, Edison. If you want to practice your English more, you can, but you have to practice in your mind. Okay, so
Yes.
现在我就在美国，可是每天我可以想中文。如果我想的，我可以说的。
对。
Okay, so
I should
you need to do that too.
More.
Yeah, you should practice thinking in English more.
Marker.
Mm-hmm.
So you really a English teacher in the middle school or primary school?
I taught kindergarten, primary school, middle school, high school, college, adults, all. Okay.
I like you. My wife is also a teacher.
Oh, that's good. Good. Okay. What does she teach?
Math.
She teaches math. Ah, okay. And does she speak English also?
No, she speaking English.
She doesn't speak English? Doesn't know English?
Yeah, she doesn't speak English.
Okay. So, you know,
English is reading and writing good than I.
her writing and reading is better than yours, but her speaking is not as good as yours.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then guess what? You can teach her. 我觉得
There's a better news.
如果你教她，我觉得这是非常棒的练习。It's good practice.
But it's a EX. EX.
Oh, it's ex. It's ex-wife or ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, that's okay. Are
Yeah,
you still
yeah.
friendly? Are you still friendly?
Yeah,
Okay, so
but,
still, it's okay.
There has a little problem.
Okay. Okay. Well, you can work out your
My
little
son-
problems.
My son with him, live with him.
Lives with her.
Mm.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's common. It happens a lot. Divorce happens sometimes. Well, Edison,
Yeah.
you can teach her and you can teach him English.
Yeah. I will take some hands to communicate to my son. Last week,
Last week, okay.
my ex-wife take my sons to swimming,
Uh-huh.
and she have take a telephone to me
Okay.
to asking some question to me.
Mm-hmm.
This is personal things.
Yeah. You don't have to tell us. You don't have to tell us. It's okay. That's personal. Yeah. So, well, Edison, many people watch me here. About 82,000 people watch me. And they watch me because,
So many people.
yes, because I...
But I have to say this just.
Oh, no. Right now is only about 78 people, but I have 82,000 followers. Okay?
Oh.
And
yeah.
they follow me because I tell them, 如果你要说一个文，你需要想这个文。If you want to speak a language, you must think that language. Okay? So,
Yeah, that's right.
so every day I think in Chinese. Okay? If I watch TV, I think in Chinese. If I go to the store, I think in Chinese. Okay? So I can practice my Chinese all the time. I don't need to speak. I could just think. Okay?
So Michael, how much kinds of language you can speak in?
I know English and I speak Chinese okay. I know a little bit of many other languages, but just a little bit, 一点点. So
You can speak in Spanish.
a little bit, yeah, a little
French?
Spanish, a little French, a little German, a little Italian, a little Russian, a little Arabic, a little Japanese, a little Latin, a little Slovak, a little Portuguese. Yeah, I always
But
forget.
but your Chinese language is pretty good.
还好啊，还好啊。
So-
oh yeah,
so you
yeah.
have-
I
so
said
you-
那个
you-
文
you-
but it should be 那个语言，对不对？可以说语言吗？
Yeah.
对 ，yeah,
一言
yeah, 语言 yeah. So 如果你要说一个
So you
语言
have-
你
you
需
have
要
take much
想
time
一
to
个
learn
语言
it.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I forgot the right word. See, 有时候我忘记一个字，可是没关系啊。It's okay. Sometimes you forget a word. That's all right. You'll remember again.
Wait, I know your Chinese language is learned from the Guangdongese people.
Close. Yes. Taiwan. Yeah, I learned in Taiwan.
Yeah,
So it's a southern accent.
Your Chinese language have a Guangdongese accent.
Yeah. Southern Chinese. Yeah. 对啊 Yeah.
Because
所以我说
because
一点点不是一点点。
Because yeah. Because my primary school stayed in the Guangdong province
嗯
for 5 years. I can feeling you. I can feeling that you.
Yeah, that's my accent. It's definitely Southern Chinese accent. Yeah. So, Edison, I need to let you go because it's time for me to go. But it was nice to talk to you and practice your English more. Okay, 收能生巧。 All right.
Yeah. Okay. You want to okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're
I
welcome.
will also do the I saw the sleep now
Yeah, it's late.
later.
Yeah, it's late. Yeah. So I'll see you next time, Edison. It was nice to talk to you. Take care. Have a good night. I'll talk to you next time, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Yeah. And again, sometimes my Chinese is a little bit weird. Or maybe it's a lot weird, I don't know. Because my Chinese is self-taught. And so that means that many, many times when I'm using Chinese, I'm using what I think it should be. But I don't know. I don't know if that's the way they really say it, or if that's not the way they say it, or what. Like, I just try to guess. Most of the time, I just try to guess the right way to say things. I have a pretty big vocabulary in Chinese, but I don't always know the natural way to say things like a Chinese native would. But I think I can speak well enough that everybody understands me. I think. Yeah. Anyway. Hello, Nala. 好久不见. You can steal my techniques to make you confident. Confidence is a funny thing. I don't have confidence often in life. There are many, many times when I don't have confidence. Confidence is about believing in yourself. So there are some times when you do believe in yourself, and there's some times when you don't. And nobody believes in themselves all the time, unless they're narcissistically pathological. Or pathologically narcissistic, whichever. Anyway, I need to go, guys, because it's been an hour and a half. I've been here for an hour and a half. But it was fun. It was fun. I've been here, Huang Ying, I've been here for about an hour and a half. An hour and a half. And it's time for me to go. I'm going to go have some lunch, and I've got some work I need to do. So, yeah, it was good. Fridays and Saturdays, everybody. If you want to come on stage and talk to me, then Friday and Saturday those are the 2 days. Okay? So, I will be back tomorrow. If you want to come talk to me again. Okay? All right, guys. Have a good morning. Have a good afternoon. Have a good evening, wherever you live in the world. And come back and see me again tomorrow. Okay, guys? All right. Bye-bye, everyone.